friends, welcome to the YouTube channel HealthQ, the place where my mission is to motivate you to look at the brighter side of the health. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about blepharospasm, one of a rare condition which mimics synkinesis, especially with the eye synkinesis. So what is this problem and how much it is related to Bell's palsy? We are going to understand about that in today's video. So if you are interested in learning more about this topic, make sure to watch this video till the end. So let's begin. Now friends, in my videos, I talk a lot about Bell's palsy and its symptoms, especially secondary symptoms like synkinesis. But do you know there are few situations, there are few conditions which can mimic to synkinesis, and one such condition is blepharospasm. In blepharospasm, a person experiences involuntary spasms of the eye muscles due to which the eye gets smaller in size, or else there is involuntary twitching or else movement of eyes, and overall the patient will feel or else experience that one eye is getting smaller compared to other eye. And that's a very typical symptom that many synkinesis patients also experience and they complain about. So with today's videos, my intention is to make clear understanding for you what is the difference between blepharospasm and synkinesis related eye symptoms. So if you look at blepharospasm, this is, as I mentioned, is an involuntary spasm that happens to the eye muscles, which is secondary or primary. What do I mean by this? So basically, primary blepharospasm stands for the symptoms of eye contraction, that is involuntary eye contraction or its involuntary blinking of eye muscles that happens due to some unknown cause, which means there is no underlying pathology or is known disease that is present. Now, this could be due to some abnormality in the basal ganglia, which is a structure that lies inside your brain. Now, this structure is responsible for our muscle contraction. Now, whenever there is some damage or some sort of abnormality in this basal ganglia, at that time a person might develop blepharospasm symptoms. This comes under the primary blepharospasm. Now there is another form of blepharospasm which is called as secondary blepharospasm. Secondary blepharospasm basically stands for the symptoms of eye getting smaller or else eye getting spasmodic or else eye muscles getting spasmodic due to some underlying pathology or else due to some history of some damage or else some sort of abnormality, sickness, illness that leads to the symptoms later on. Now, the primary blepharospasm is less common compared to the secondary blepharospasm. But in general also, the blepharospasm is not a common condition. It is a rare neurological disorder, and that's why many of people don't know about the situation. The symptoms that a patient or else a person suffering from blepharospasm will experience is initially there would be some mild fluttering or else mild contraction that the person will experience in the eyes that wouldn't be related to any kind of voluntary movement. But as gradually the condition progresses, the symptoms will get severe and there would be an unwilling, unrequired eye twitching or else eye contraction that will happen, which over a period of time patient will see that the eye looks smaller on the affected side compared to the non-affected side. Symptoms of blepharospasm starts with mild involuntary twitching or else contraction, which would be occasional, and it would be very mild in experience, but as the time progresses, the severity of contraction will increase and it will become more frequent. Then as the symptoms progresses further, the patient will find difficult to open his or her eye completely, as well as the affected side eye will look much smaller compared to the non-affected side. This leads to contracture of the eyelid muscles, which makes functional blindness as the last stage or as the most severest stage of blepharospasm. Now, although there is no known condition or else known cause for blepharospasm, especially when it is in primary blepharospasm, but in secondary blepharospasm, there are certain known risk factors or certain conditions, certain situations which could develop or else which could lead patient to develop these symptoms. So what are these risk factors? Let's have a look. So the first most important risk factor that can lead to blepharospasm is head trauma or facial trauma. Yes, many of the people who have got history of a road traffic accident or some sort of injury to the head due to violence or else fall or else even due to some surgery that has happened to the brain for removal of tumor, at that time they are at a higher risk of developing blepharospasm. Apart from that, people who have got some eye related disorders like blepharitis, severe dry eyes, intraocular inflammation, meningeal irritation, and light sensitivity. These people are also at a higher risk of developing blepharospasm. If a person is having family history of dystonia or a tremor, even they are at higher risk of developing blepharospasm in future. Stress could also lead to exaggerated blepharospasm. Even patients who are suffering from Parkinson's disease and who are taking medications from Parkinson's disease, they could also develop blepharospasm due to that. And hemifacial spasm is a condition due to which also a person might develop later on blepharospasm symptoms. Now, the question arises how much this blepharospasm is related to Bell's palsy. Many of the Bell's palsy patients who develop synkinesis later on in the stage, they experience that their one side of eye is getting smaller compared to other side. And this is the time where the right diagnosis needs to be ruled out, as both the symptoms almost look similar. Even though Bell's palsy directly do not lead to blepharospasm, blepharospasm is totally a different condition, but there are few cases post Bell's palsy who have recovered, who have reported to develop blepharospasm. But the number of these cases is very rare. Like say out of 100, only 2 patients will develop blepharospasm post Bell's palsy. That too in cases where there was severe nerve damage. So blepharospasm directly doesn't happen due to Bell's palsy. Mostly it is an diagnosis of exclusion, which means that you need to see a doctor. The doctor needs to do proper neurological assessment to rule out whether there is blepharospasm or not, as there are typical signs that varies from synkinesis and blepharospasm. Hence, it's important that if you are experiencing or else if you are feeling that your one side of eye is getting smaller compared to other side, if you feel that your eye muscles are contracting involuntarily or else unknowingly, then you should at least go once for your eye checkup with an eye specialist doctor to rule out some other situation or else some other health disorders related to your eye. Now, the question arises is about the management. Now, there are ways with which you can prevent secondary blepharospasm, which means if the blepharospasm happens due to some other underlying cause, if you can manage or else if you can treat that underlying cause, obviously you would be able to prevent yourself from developing blepharospasm. And one such way is by taking care of your eyes. Now, most of the Bell's palsy patients see that they are not able to close their eyes completely in the initial days. This leads to increased chances of eye dryness and eye irritation, as well as some inflammation or else infection in the eye muscles, which once gets chronic can lead to secondary blepharospasm in people. Hence, it's very important that eye care should be given an utmost importance, or else it should be the first priority of a patient who is in the acute stage or else in the early stage of Bell's palsy. Hence, if you who are someone who is suffering from Bell's palsy or is suffering from synkinesis, it's important that you should go to an eye specialist at least once to rule out or else to figure out whether you are having other condition or else other secondary condition that could happen post Bell's palsy. Even though blepharospasm and Bell's palsy are totally two different conditions and are not related, but in few patients it could happen in the later stages if the right preventive things are not taken care. In research, in one such study, it has been found out that blepharospasm, even though is a separate condition, but could be present in late stages of Bell's palsy, but the incident is very less, which means only 2 out of 100 people will develop blepharospasm post Bell's palsy episode. Even hemifacial spasm is a complication or else a rare kind of secondary symptoms that Bell's palsy patients develop, and hemifacial spasm also leads to blepharospasm. And last but not the least, Patients who are going through Bell's palsy, especially in the early phases, develop eye irritation, eye dryness, and also there is lack of lubrication in the eye as they are not able to close the eyes completely. Now, if this problem persists for a longer period of time, the eye becomes more irritable, more delicate, and this irritation and inflammation can in future lead to blepharospasm. Hence, if you are having Bell's palsy, you can prevent it to an extent by taking care of your eyes at your first important step in your Bell's palsy care. When it comes to acute Bell's palsy management or in the early stage of Bell's palsy management, the most important thing that you should take care of is your eyes. Eye care is important and should never be ignored during Bell's palsy phase, as this eye care, if not done in the right way, leads to other secondary complications. So how you can take care of your eyes, or else you can say how to prevent blepharospasm. So the first thing, if you have symptoms of dry eyes, if you feel that your eyes is irritable, then artificial tears are very important. These are drops that you get it from the prescription of your eye specialist, and you need to use these drops regularly in order to maintain good amount of lubrication in your eye muscles. Second thing, you have to avoid exposure from any kind of bright light. So make sure to wear dark sunglasses whenever you are stepping outside your home. Another way of reducing the chances of developing blepharospasm or else any kind of eye irritation is by reducing the stress level. Stress is one major cause for blepharospasm and other facial spasms as well. Hence, if you want to stay away from that, make sure that you stay away from stress. Do not panic, do not get anxious, but take this time of Bell's palsy recovery as a time for yourself to heal. Allow yourself and your body to relax and let the body do its own work of healing on itself. But how a person who has developed blepharospasm can manage it? So there are few ways with which blepharospasm can be managed. One simple way is eye drops, which is always given by the prescription of an eye specialist or else ophthalmologist. Using non-irritating soap while washing the face, using dark sunglasses whenever stepping out. Botox injections are very popular or else very effective tool or as therapy for managing blepharospasm. Hence, Botox injection or else Botox therapy can be a choice of treatment for someone who is suffering from chronic blepharospasm. Apart from that, there are certain medications, oral medicines, as well as certain surgical procedures that exist that can help in management of blepharospasm. If you feel that your eyes are getting smaller after Bell's palsy, that too once more than 3 or 4 months are over, then it is important to rule out whether this problem is due to synkinesis or blepharospasm. And for that, you need to see a professional, especially an eye specialist, to help yourself get the right diagnosis. My entire agenda behind making this video was to educate you about your problem. Since education is one of the important key in Bell's palsy management, I want that you should be educated as much as possible so that you can take right steps for yourself. So I hope you liked today's video. If yes, make sure to like this video, share this video and subscribe to HealthQ channel. I'll see you in another video. Thank you.